What's up guys, Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. Let's kick it off. Alright guys, we got a bunch to dive into today related to XRP, Casper, HBAR, and more. So first up, before we dive into some price charts, last night I had an amazing dinner with Meta Parlikar, the CTO of Casper Labs. So it was great to finally meet up since she lives relatively close, and we talked for several hours about crypto, life, etc. And if you guys have watched some of the Casper videos on my YouTube channel, specifically under the Casper playlist where we speculated several Fortune 500 companies that I believed were working with Casper due to a variety of connections, let's just say that I have 100% confirmation of several that we discussed on this channel that are 100% working with Casper. Now to briefly dive into some price charts, I know sentiment is super low in this bear market, and I just want to give a friendly reminder to anybody having a hard time, especially to anybody that joined the market highs during 2021 near the top of the bull market before the bear market, and they've yet to even make any good returns or let alone experience a true alt season. If you scan through TradingView and CoinMarketCap, there are hundreds of alts retesting their lows, some are at all-time low prices. So we have to keep that into perspective. Although it might feel like it's only happening to the cryptos that you're holding, it's not. This is affecting everybody, and this is a crypto bear market. This is an emerging market where unfortunately 70% of the crypto asset class is retail investors. The 30% of institutions are still small. We are not using applications at scale in the enterprise and government space. That is the largest market in the world. So the sky is the absolute limit in the future. I know it's difficult to keep that long-term mindset during a bear market, but I have zero doubt in this entire ecosystem. Every emerging market typically starts like this. There are retail investors that enter the market first, before regulation, before ample liquidity. Those that are early and set themselves up properly can make the most money, just like we saw in Web 2 during the dot-com bubble. And just remember, the next huge wave for the crypto asset class, and Bitcoin included, is coming. Just as it always has over the past 10 years for the Bitcoin price chart. As you can see, multiple bear markets dating back to 2012, bull run, another multi-year bear market, bull run, another multi-year bear market with a retracement, March 2020, another bull run, and we are well into this bear market. Whether you want to use the all-time high or that previous first high, we are over 2 years into this market for a variety of assets that have hit their all-time high back in April and May of 2021. Remember the stats from Swift of 24 trillion in volume by 2027, BCG with trillions of dollars in tokenized assets, and even trillions of total value represented on some of these chains. So once again, these bear markets last just long enough for us to question our sanity. The people that are typically insane will make the most money the next cycle that endure. Every single person that has made substantial wealth during bull runs in the crypto asset class over the past several cycles had patience. They DCA'd at lows, not when an asset is already up 200%. They focus on accumulating and buying as low as possible to stagger out and sell as high as possible. So if you go through TradingView and look at assets in the top 100, 200, 300, a variety, it's not just one or two, are at their lows. Rose is at its lows. We have Energy Web at its lows. XRP at least is still up 80% from its cycle low at 50 cents. You have Atom at its lows, AVAX at its lows, and then other alts like Render, Fetch, AGIX that have retraced multiple 100% from their cycle low. We have API 3 at its lows, Basic Attention Token also at its lows alongside a variety of others, and then we have others like XLM, Bitcoin Cash that have done that 100% or 250% move from the low. So when I'm looking at the weekly price chart for a variety of assets, some of which are just in a crazy descending channel and have yet to break to the upside, not financial advice, but I believe a variety recover up to the 50-week MA and eventually the weekly 100 MA up here, just like a variety of assets have already done, such as XLM moving 170%. Okay, let's get into some recent news. So first up, this is the co-founder of Keyless, and this is a chat with David Schwartz, the CTO of Ripple. And this was uploaded on Ripple's YouTube channel discussing biometric authentication and cryptocurrency. Discussing biometric authentication and digital identity could have a huge impact on the user experience in the crypto industry. We're introducing a privacy-preserving, zero-knowledge biometric authentication platform that solves the trade-off between security, privacy, and user experience. We got some great news from Crypto Eddie. The XRP US dollar pair is back on Coinbase Pro. So she shared the link right here below discussing this XRP liquid index XRPLX, along with the NASDAQ ticker. Back on July 13th, the court actually ruled that XRP tokens, when sold on exchanges or through algorithms, did not constitute as investment contracts. That's a good thing. So slowly but surely getting those exchange listings back and getting that necessary liquidity. Also remember that Ripple's annual event Swell will be taking place on November 8th to the 9th in Dubai, with over 600 attendees, 80 plus speakers, and 40 plus countries represented. And when you look at the speakers at Swell, some of these people are part of the European Central Bank, the Reserve Bank of India, the Federal Reserve, And it's a big deal. Topics including payments, industry trends, CBDCs, we'll talk more about that, the future of crypto, regulation, awaiting a regulatory bull run for utility assets, compliance, sustainability, financial inclusion, and of course tokenization.
The Middle East is one of the most important regions in the world for crypto. From payments to tokenization, there is a genuine adoption and importantly here in the UAE, a clear regulatory framework. That is why in Dubai is the perfect place to hold our annual Swell Global Conference. I hope to see you there.
And right here from Dread Bongo, unless you're already wealthy, you will not get wealthy off Bitcoin or Ethereum for a very long time. Altcoins are where the opportunity of riches come from. Now, during a bear market, being super heavy in alts before they crash 80-90% is one of the worst places to be. If you rotated more into Bitcoin during the bear market, Bitcoin's drops are not as severe as some alts. Bitcoin might go down 60-70% rather than an alt that could drop 95%. So in a bear market, it's almost better to hold Bitcoin at certain periods. And for a bull run regarding Bitcoin, Bitcoin will lead the market and sometimes pump before other alts. But there is a period during alt season when that profit and that money and volume goes into alts, and Bitcoin, even if it does a 2, 3, 4x, it's not a big deal because alts have the potential to do that 5, 10, 15, even 20x from their cycle lows like we've seen last cycle. So the timing of it is super tricky, but bottom line, the ROI is in the altcoin market, especially now. And here's a quick clip from Brendan Barry, the head of payments product at Ripple.
But when you make a payment across countries, that's where friction between systems increases cost, decreases reliability, and ultimately makes the payment much more slow. With blockchain, the technology was created, purpose-built to solve those problems. So when you can use blockchain or cryptocurrency to move funds, you can now do so to anyone in the globe instantaneously at a low cost, very high speed with extremely high reliability.
So leveraging blockchain for any type of transaction of value increases the reliability massively. Remember that Swift sends over 45 million financial messages and over 5 trillion in money transfers per day, and they have an error rate of 6%. 6% of all transactions fail. That doesn't happen with blockchain. This is the future. All of these networks that send any type of value are going to be leveraging DLT in the future, smart contract automation, etc. Now in this case, Brendan is discussing using blockchain to improve payments, but let's even make this scope a lot wider and discuss value, certifications, ownership of anything, and monetization of new markets, intellectual property, commodities, real estate, anything can be tokenized. And this technology allows us to connect all of these systems, assign value, and monetize brand new markets that could be multi-billion, multi-trillion-dollar markets. For example, the S&P 500 is valued well over $30 trillion, and it's estimated that intangible assets account for 90% of that value, and 30% of this 30 trillion plus is patents or intellectual property. So that is a multi-trillion-dollar market that is highly inefficient, and leveraging blockchain, which is occurring today, they're doing integrations and they are tokenizing these patents on a variety of chains, is a huge deal. In previous videos, we talked about HBAR with CRE, that commercial real estate company, Red Swan, 5 billion AUM. We have Quarter Homes tokenizing home equity on Hedera's Hashgraph. And not financial advice, this is solely my opinion. It doesn't matter my opinion, all that matters is what happens. I believe it's just a matter of time for alts like HBAR and Casper, both enterprise networks, to surpass $1 plus in the future. These public networks, and there's others as well, are already and will be plugging into many more hybrid networks for security, transparency, liquidity, etc. When we think about the crypto asset class sitting at 1 trillion today, global real estate is hundreds of trillions. The global equities and stock market is over 100 trillion. The bond market over 100 trillion, the commodities market a couple dozen trillion. All these networks and even new markets are going to be tokenized in the future. And when we think about the dot-com bubble and Web 2 and the rise of cloud and all these other things that we've seen before the crypto asset class emerged, retail typically enters emerging markets very early before there's regulatory clarity or liquidity. And retail investors, compared to banks or other financial institutions, we have higher risk appetites. We want to take the chance. And there was a recent report on Crypto Compare and Chainalysis just saying 70% of the crypto asset class today is retail. And this is the same thing we saw during other emerging markets in Web 2. Enterprises and governments, the largest and most untapped market in the world, is yet to enter at scale. Yeah, roughly 30% is in the crypto market, but these are not applications used at scale with billions of daily transactions. There's not even regulatory clarity, so they can't enter yet. And that is what we're waiting for the floodgates of liquidity and value to enter. Now, some people will say HBAR can't hit $1 because of supply or total supply and blah, 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 but I personally don't believe that. I believe a variety like HBAR, Casper, etc. can absolutely skyrocket with utility. Anybody that says HBAR and Casper can't be in the top 20 or be a massive success has not done any research and looked at some of the things that they're building and companies they're working with. Remember last bull run, that was primarily retail. That was not institutional adoption. The floodgates weren't opening. It was Bitcoin creating a new high, tons of retail hype, community developments, etc. And projects last cycle, altcoins, Cardano, Doge, Solana, they reached market cap all-time highs between 75 billion to 99 billion without regulation or enterprise adoption. So I ask myself, what do you think projects in the top 10, top 20, maybe even top 50 can do over the coming years with true enterprise adoption? And the likely answer is a lot higher. And if you guys hold Casper, please check out the next video where I'm going to cover why Casper is superior to other layer 1s, specifically for its account and contract permissions. Compared to Ethereum in terms of tech, Ethereum has nothing on Casper in terms of enterprise adoption and its potential with its tech stack. I would argue even HBAR. I love HBAR, but there are features of Casper's network specifically that makes it well-versed and more flexible for enterprises. So when you go to CSPR.live, the Casper Block Explorer on the mainnet, we can actually look up and look different contracts. So this one right here named IPWE. We know they're minting $7 to $10 billion in total value on Casper's public chain. This will be the largest enterprise deployment on a public network in history. Now the timestamp is back in January of 2022 when they presented at Davos in Switzerland together, but as we go down, the contract type, this is the old NFT standard. The new one, I believe, will be leveraging the Casper NFT Protocol 78 rather than 47. But what's interesting, as I was looking this morning, we have a mint that actually happened 15 hours ago, so another patent was minted. I just thought the patents, or the bulk of them, were going to be using the new standard, as it says right here on this website, scanspur.com. So we know that Neve of Casper said IPWE will be minting the first million out of 25 million next month, and it seems we just got one or just a taste today. And also regarding Hedera, remember that chart I shared of Hedera using the consensus service plugging into healthcare. So a variety of examples of public networks plugging into hybrid, private, any type of network. And last but not least, if you guys know Flo from Progressive, the CMO or Chief Marketing Officer of Casper Labs, Michael Dobak, is the one that created the Flo campaign for Progressive Insurance years back. He led the Progressive account with its infamous Flo campaign, which everybody knows. So not financial advice, but since Casper Labs said they are working with insurance companies, I believe Progressive is one. Maybe it's State Farm as well, because they are working with US companies, even regarding payroll with Advasa. So in terms of utility on Casper Network that's being built, and you can keep tabs on the test network as well for any type of deployments. We could look at track and trace, loyalty and rewards program, car leasing and tokenizing actual leasing agreements, and of course, Nucleus Finance. And last but not least, we have iTrustCapital linked in the top of this YouTube video description. If you use that link to create a free account and fund your account, you'll get a $100 funding reward. This platform is free, there's no monthly fees, there's just a 1% transaction fee if you trade, just like Coinbase. Except when I use Coinbase to trade, I'm paying taxes on all profits for short-term and long-term capital gains. That could be 15%, that could be 37% depending on your tax rate, whereas with iTrustCapital, my account grows 100% tax-free. And for me personally, having a Roth IRA in the S&P 500, I moved one into the crypto asset class for some exposure. So definitely check out iTrustCapital if you're curious. They're valued at over $1.3 billion. They have over 500 million AUM. And just like every bull run, as prices start going up and alts do a 2, 3, 5x from the lows, a lot more interest will return to the crypto asset class. But right now at these lows, I'm a lot more interested. If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate if you could hit the like button, let me know your thoughts down below, and my link tree is linked in the top of this YouTube video description, with all links, crypto resources, and discounts. I'll catch you in the next one.